God was conscious, like I said, so smart and so powerful, so conscious of what he was creating. Why man would live and not be conscious of why they were created? But in case you did not know, the only reason why you are alive, why you were formed, is to give him glory. Isaiah chapter 43 and verse 1, God said, the people that I've created for myself, I've created them for my glory. I formed you. In fact, he says, you are mine. And if anybody claims a possession over you, you can imagine what extent God is claiming possession. You may think that it is okay for you, for one person to subdue, but the purpose of God is that two people, when they come together, one will chase 1,000, two will not chase 2,000. They will chase what? 10,000. That's the power of subduing. The Bible would have just said, okay, when I chase 1,000, then when I marry my wife, it will just be 1,000 and 1,000. Let it be 2,000. But the power of two is reflected in how you subdue 10,000, not just one. Let us make man in our image. God was talking to somebody. God didn't just assume to conclude and say, and then he made man. That is so important to take note of. Anytime the devil is telling you can do it by yourself, anytime the devil is telling you are enough by yourself, anytime the devil is telling you you can be independent, it is a lie. God has a purpose for bringing two people together. One of the purpose is not just for companionship, but also for increase. And God did not say, let me. It was God. God in everything, he could have just said, I will make man in my image. I think he had a plan. That's why I call him a smart God. He needed to know, for you to know that there is a preposition you must always use. Let us talk about this. Let's talk about the children. Let's talk about the finances. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about what you're doing. Let's talk about what you're not doing. Don't let it pass. Let us will solve a lot of problems. Don't leave things to chances. Don't just assume that it is going to happen. Communication is God's character. It is one of God's deep character. There is a lot of healing in conversation. But again, such conversation must be healthy. Must be the right conversation, must be enough conversation, not a half conversation, not conversation you're supposed to have for 30 minutes and you only had it for 5 minutes and you're done. No, it has to be well enough, a conversation for you to make a meaning out of it. It has to be right. The communication must be right. Don't talk to your children when you're supposed to talk to your wife. Most of you, when you are no longer able to husband, you start communicating to your spouse through your children. That is not communication. You're only talking to yourself. Communication is one way for you to perpetuate God's glory in your life. It's number one, you remind yourself of the mandate that you have. But the second part of it is to know that God has given you a mandate that you also need to communicate, to pass across. Let the spouse know. Both of you must know. Remind yourself of it. Communication, I found out, has been the major key point in keeping a marriage. There are certain that are just flying around and they look like an unspoken expectation. You're expecting this from your wife, you're expecting that from your husband, but it's not just happening because you have not communicated it. So it becomes an unspoken expectation. I thought you should know now. I thought she should know. No, she doesn't know. No, he does not know. You need to talk about it.